Hi, thank you all so much for being here for our Saturday night event. This is the Spoken Word Night. My name is Becca Olson. I am one of the co-chairs of the Spoken Word Collective here on campus. And I am really excited and really honored to stand beside the poets who we have here tonight, the students and our featured poet, John Sands. So the Spoken Word Night is something that we actually started last year, that we founded at the festival, and it was wonderful, and we're really excited to be continuing it. It's a little different from the rest of the festival in form and format. So this event is closely tied to the Sarah Lawrence Spoken Word Collective, and what we do is we hold poetry open mics on campus every week, and we bring in different featured slam poets from around the country. So it's somewhat similar to what you'll see tonight. So in the coming weeks, when you are thinking longingly of the poetry festival and wishing that it would happen again soon, know that there are poetry readings here all the time, and you can come to Spoken Word Collective, which is on Thursday nights at 8 in the Tea House, and you will see performers such as the ones that we have tonight. I have these notes written on paper because the campus networks are down, so a big thank you to Kepa and Brenna for hand copying all of my introductory notes. So before I introduce the performers, I want to give a quick rundown of what spoken word is so that no one is in the dark. A good way to think about spoken word is as the intersection of language and voice, or more so of language and the body. And if you've heard the term slam poetry before, that's something that is slightly different. It refers to poetry that is performed at poetry slams, which are events that are basically like organized, competitive spoken word events. And they happen at the local and national level. So all of this is different from a poetry reading. Spoken word poems are poems that are written with the intention of being spoken and heard aloud. And because of that, they tend to carry a certain sonic quality, a musicality. And because spoken word is embodied by the performer, it is only, as Roland Barthes would say, at the moment of utterance, the moment at which it is spoken, that it exists. So while books and paper and the page are really important and have their own dimensions of power, part of the power of slam and spoken word is presence, because we have to be here at the moment of performance to experience it, or it ceases to exist. One final thought that I would like to share before I introduce our first readers is something that the poet James Hoke, who was teaching here last semester, shared with my poetry class. It was on one of the first days of class, and I'll never forget it. It was beautiful. He said to us that poetry is not so much writing as it is speech. And with poetry, we are saying things. So with that, I am going to introduce our first performers, and I left my program down there. So if someone could hand it to me, it is in my bag, that would be wonderful. First performer. So we have 4 students who are going to be representing Spoken Word Collective, and then we're going to have 2 more students perform, and then we're going to have our featured poet. So our spoken word rapid fire consists of Phoebe Temkin, who is in her first year at Sarah Lawrence, tentatively concentrating on gender and queer studies. She has been writing poetry since she was in elementary school and started reading in public last year. She often writes accusatory sadness poetry and thinks a lot about vibes. Madeline Dessanti is a senior at Sarah Lawrence College. She hails from Teaneck, New Jersey, and enjoys playing tennis and meditating. She plans on joining a training program to become an American Sign Language interpreter post-graduation. And Rose Miklos is a first year at Sarah Lawrence. She studies writing, pre-med, and generally undecidedness with the hopes of spending her life making either poems or artificial joints while bartending and skating roller derby, all at the same time. She is originally from Trenton, Michigan. And lastly, Mikey Walsh is a depressive who never shows up on time. They studied with Kathy Park Hong last semester and are particularly interested in rhythm and shape. First up is Venus Temkin.
What I might have told you 2 months ago. I'm sorry I'm a sad girl. I really tried to tell you. I wanted to tell you how when my tooth aches, my probing tongue is called to the back of my mouth, how when my throat hurts, I swallow. I wanted to tell you how when those bruises bloomed upon my inner thighs, I pressed a thumb to them and hoped they'd stay, if only so I could remember you for another night or so. Ruined body to match a ruined mind, both cracked and split apart, and you, a soreness that was just too tempting. Once you told me your secrets, let me wrap them in my sadness, this tightness in my chest for you alone, because I am a sad girl, difficult to love. I told you this, and still once you let me hold you, let me into each untouched place, my arched back, a question mark against your body, my mind awake and knuckle deep in secrecy, until you found me out. Brimming eyes, a broken heart not once but twice, a broken heart not once but twice, a brimming eyes under a summer sun, sweetened sky lit only by 2 twin moons hanging heavily above me. Silent apologies for these things I cannot fix, I lean to you, with my toes dug into sand and stars above my head, until you said the wrong thing, and I cried. I am trying to fix this. They say self-love, and I laugh. My own name turns to ash in my mouth, but I pray one day I'll find the universe inside me. Even though I own a body I am told to hate, even though I have been taught to close my ears to the sound of my own voice, because I might spend an hour each day packing dirt into my wounds, but I am trying. Each day a new battle. I will rid myself of the uncertainty I cradle to my chest and the self-loathing I lie next to each night. I will let the years of loneliness slip through my fingers like water, because I know it's time. My mind is a stopped clock I want to restart, and although my heart might be spiderwebbed with a million cracks, I am slowly starting to fill each one. Now I will no longer apologize to you. Kiss freckles like the constellations of stars you love instead. You are no longer part of me. That home feeling gone. Your other half now halfway across the country and still no phone call. Now I am stopping. My tongue held in an iron grip. Instead I am opening my heart to see what the universe pours back in. And I will no longer apologize for this title, Sad Girl, because this will one day be useful to me. My pain is me pulling my ribs out one by one to catch reflections of light across open plains. I want to dig my fingers into dirt and pull them out, clean and pure as I once was. Next up, we have Maddie Dessanti.
I was a hidden treasure and I wanted to be known. Oh, holy God, I want to be known too. I've got to share this like a break dancer who hits the floor for the first time. I too have to create something. Like you, who painted the earth and the stars and the moon. Like you, who sculpted Adam. And like you, who passed Adam's rib to Eve. Like a lamb shank at the Seder. Like a turkey leg at Thanksgiving. Like a torch. I want to pass my rib to some particle of stardust. I want to mark this earth. I want to be known like the prehistoric writing on the walls. I want to be old and desired like an antique. To be the shroud that garbed Jesus, I want to be a diamond. You shine your essence on me, and there I am, reflected, a sad Xerox copy. Why must I have these pointless stains on me? I'm a wooden desk with a cup ring, an umbrella tangled in a garbage can, a page in a coloring book. Why can't you hand over my perfection like it was palmed off to you? Shake my every atom, overwhelm me and seize my consciousness. Lobotomize me, pierce my eardrums, I am ruined already. And how can I reach you when you've cut the rungs of that string ladder that dangles from the heavens? God, I don't even know your name. I just pray to what listens. I want grapes to be dangled above my mouth. I want beautiful young virgins to fan me as I nap in a banana leaf hammock. This world is a veil. Can't you hear me banging on your gates? I really want to see you. I really want to be with you. This world is a bridge on the pilgrimage to your throne. Next up, Rose Miklos.
You said you didn't want me talking to those people, that you didn't want them to sway me one way or the other, but Mother, there's no swaying to be done here. 8 years spent. With these paper-thin walls between us, our home should have been assigned its own postal code by now for the distance that you managed to squeeze into 1,200 square feet. Most days it felt like a wasteland. The living room echoed with disuse. I think there were probably even tumbleweeds, but I try not to remember how endless the nights were before he fell from somewhere near the Puget Sound and into my routine. We rebuilt by starlight, or maybe it was really just the fluorescent glow of the streetlights, but I started to feel almost real again, and he helped. She helps, and I know now. I know that I can't always trust that all of these concrete things that we're born with will stay that way, and I know how much of your worth you've invested in me, but I just can't be this Renaissance center that you expect me to be. But see, even that name evokes change. Is anything really as stable as you're asking me to become? I'm not some sturdy, unchanging beacon. I think I'm more like his eyelashes during the snowstorm, fluttering, her nervous fits of laughter, beautiful, and carried away in the Lake Erie wind. I wonder how far it could have gone, because I swear I've heard it here, his voice whipping through the skyscrapers, a wind tunnel, that I still don't mind being stuck in. Next up is Viking.
Shadow Box. The lighter left me, shivering neath my bones, and the spider slept me, buzzing in the tones for the trip that left me. Ants in brick time. Noir. Trike. Rock in color. All in clear. Faded sunrise. Feel the sweat on your face like we should. A pink scroll, the easiest to unravel. The kids are just talking geometrically, I mean athletically. Limit, wander and sound. Got out where it's light out. Money'll thank you. Nearer than touches, contentment. Moving. Pain comes sweeter than suffering. Kill it.